So, hello members. Today we make a new tutorial to build a robot. You know Star Wars, and there is some robot called R2D2, and we want to build them, and I show you from start to the end how to build this robot. At the start, I will say I don't know if it goes right and all is clear and all is super. We tried, and you are on with me on this way to project R2D2. So at first we Google and search some pictures. I have done that before, and now I add mesh image as a plane so we can put in the images. I make them in the picture folder, and here you can look. That is for viewing what is in the folder with picture view, and that is the other displayment. Okay, we mark all, shift, press left mouse button, drag and drop, you know that, import as a plane. So you see them here, but they are not in the right position, so we press R to rotate, X 90 degrees, so we have them from the front. Okay, you see nothing because here you must change to material, then you see what is on this pics. Then we don't need, but this guy's here. Okay, so at first we have our reference. That is the robot we want to build. First thing is to get the pictures in here. Now we save the first time. File, save as, then the path to. I make it in my folder 7. Make here a new folder and name it Robo R2D2. Return. Now we have this folder here. Go in this folder, name the plant file, our project file, Robo R2D2 1. That is the first one. We will need much more, so we will see how much we need. Okay, I saved the plant file. Okay, now we must look at this robot and must think which objects are this robot. We see here a sphere and half sphere. We see here a cylinder, and we see here cuts in this cylinder. Here some other parts. So we must think how we can build that. I will start with the sphere, the head from him. So what is it? It is a sphere. So we add a sphere, UV sphere. Here on the left side, we have now to this object the values. 32 is good. Less you can get problems with this move. So better, it takes much words, but you need it, yeah. In this case, here you can change location, rotation, and so on. We let it by these values. Press S to scale, and scale them like this one. Yeah, that's only this the same. Now we see it's cutted here. It's not a completely sphere, so we must edit the sphere. So we press tab. Now we are in the edit mode, and we want to change the words. That are the edges, that are the faces. And here you can say I want to touch only the first word, or I will take all words through the sphere. That is the mirror, not mirror, but like transparent, so you can grab the background words too. Okay, we take that and we cut them in half. So we press B for border selection, hold the left mouse button, drag them over the dead points, press X for delete vertex. Now we have the half one. You see that it's not really only the half, that is a little bit straight down there. So we must pull them out, this little thing there. We disable this mirror, okay? It's not a mirror, think about it. Okay, we want this line here, so we press the Alt key and the right mouse button on this line. So you see it's marked. You can mark it too with border selection or other selection, it's not a problem. Then we press E to extrude, right mouse button, then grab this file here in the C axis and pull them down. So we have originally that. So that is the first part. We have this one. Sure, we must make the other things there, but that comes later. First is make it low, and then we go to the details. So what we see here, this part is cylinder. So we put in cylinder, add mesh cylinder. There is the same values, 32. It's many parts to round it. When you make less, you can get problems with the smooth later. Then it's not completely round. Okay, so we press S to scale them down to the same size like this other one. We press 1 on the numpad, so the view is from front. When you press numpad 5, you can change the view to orthographic view or perspectivic view. We take orthographic view, so it looks straight from the front. We position that under this before, and then we scale so long that it fits. Okay, as the scale. Now we see it fits. So it must not be 1000% good. You can press on the numpad 3, so you see it from the side, and you see there is a difference. So we pull them with clicking left mouse button on the green arrow and hold them, and then we can change the position. Okay, now the position is okay. You see that it's not completely round. It is because it is not smoothed. So when we smooth them, we click with the right mouse button on the object and have here are the tools, smooth. You click there, you see it's completely round. The same like here. That is what I spoke with you before. You need smooth to make them real round. And when you not have enough parts, then it's not really round in the smooth. But this called a shadow error. That is because the computer don't know how to break the light down. So at all objects that are round and would smooth, you must make cuts in there to get these arrows in a little space. So we press Control R to get a loop cut. Press left mouse button, drag them short before the over, and the same Control R, left mouse button, drag them down, and left click to activate. Now we don't have this arrow, because the arrow from breaking the light is now in this small part here. and not on our object to see. Okay, the same it's here and we make it later. Okay, so we have that. You see this goes a little bit deeper. So what we make, we go in tab in edit mode, take border selection, but before you must take all words behind 2. Press B to border selection, left mouse button, you know that all. Okay, wonderful. So now we need this small comes out here. That means we take the down circle here. That is hold Alt key on the keyboard. Press right mouse button on this line. E to extrude. Drag down, scale. Wonderful. Better, no, we make it another. We drag that in and drag that extrude out, and so we have more this space out here. Okay, and this all will have shading errors because there must be 3 lines. One line had a shading error. When you make one line out there, one there, then is the failure in this small part and you don't see them. But in a moment it's good for the start. We only want to start and we come better and better and better and see what are the failures. So what we see here are parts that comes out of this part. So we have many options to do that. We can make that single parts like a cube, or we can use this. They are here. We can pull them out. But I think that is simple. It's fast, but it's not the same like that. You see that is much too thick. And we must small them down so we can add loop cuts, but there are then thousands loop cuts. We don't need them. So there's a wrong way to do that. The right way to do that is, like I told before, we make one single and then rotate them and use it on this one. So how we do it? We click here, add cube. Here's the radius. Press S in this view. It's important to press keys in this view. When you click it here, your value, your S or something else, it doesn't function. You must be in the 3D view. Okay, we scale it down. Like the high is the same like here. And then scale in the red one. The red one is X, so scale X. Okay, I'm very nervous, but it must be. So, and you see it's in the background. It's too long, so we must shorten that, and so we scale Y. Y is the green one. So that is maybe this thing, yeah. We go in front view with numpad 1. Now we have this part. What we do with that? We must put them with holding the mouse wheel. You can rotate along the object. Okay, so we press 3 on the numpad. Now we have the side view from our object, and we drag them to the front, and we see it must be diagonal. So what we do, we rotate about the x-axis. The x-axis in the background, it's here, but we don't see them because we look from the side. So, but we know it. Here's an x, here's y, so the x is on the other side. So R to rotate, X, and now we can make it the same like this and grab them Oh, we see it a little bit. So rotate X, wonderful. So we have it. Not really. You must try that to make it not perfect, but simply. Okay. Front view, make it in the middle, halfway in the middle. So wonderful. We're typing on the numpad 7 is top view, and when we want to see it from down, we must make a control and 7, so we look from down. Okay. So what we want to do is to make a circle of this object around this other object. So how we do that? We go to Control 7 numpad to the bottom view, click in the middle. So we have this is called the 3D cursor. It must be in the middle of the object. We'll make it not so perfect like you see it. It's good so. Okay, we have clicked this object. Our cursor is here. We go in edit mode with tab. Then the pivot point is this point here where the axes come out. And to rotate this around this middle, we must get the pivot point to this 3D cursor. How we do that? We do it here. Here you can say the pivot point should be the 3D cursor. So we click there and the origin comes here. Now the middle point of this object is here. Now we want to rotate them. So we go here in toolbar. We have here spin. Spin is the right thing for that. We click on that. Now you see he makes something. What he makes? He makes 9 parts of the same object in an angle of 90 degrees. But we haven't completely circle, so we need 360 degrees. And now we must look, is it too less or too much parts of this object around? I think that is okay. So we can let it so. Click left here, go out of the edit mode, go back here, it's important, to median point. And now you see we have these guys here around this object. A to deselect, and we have the first part. It is not perfect in the moment, you see it here, but we can scale them later, that is no problem, it fits. That is the detail work later, yeah. But we have this one part. It is one part more than before, yeah? Sure. Okay. Then what we make next? We can do all. What is the simplest part? Some people say make the difficult part first. So you have that and the other buildings not so heavy. But I make it sometimes so. It's not important. So what we can do, we see we can cut that real in this object, this part here, or we can use a picture of cut it. Only picture and bump them on and then it looks like that. But I want to make it real cut out. That is not so easy as you think. Because of the shading errors that I told you before. All line must have be 2 other lines to get no errors from shading. And that is the problem. When we cut this thing out here, we have an error from shading because the computer don't know how to break the light about that. It's round and you don't know how to work with that. So I can't tell you Normally, the most people make take a texture and bump that the texture on this object, and then it looks like this. But for me, it's not real modeling. I model it real, so and we make it real. So we want to cut this thing into this object. First is every cut change the topology from this object. So when you use a Boolean, the Boolean cuts here lines in, they are not here, but after the cutting, they are there. So I don't take the Boolean. Better is the best way is never use Boolean, never cut, or model like you don't need that. Yeah. Um, and an important rule is all that is real separate parts of this object. Build it single. So this must be built single, this single, and pull them on this object, but not in this object. That are separate objects. Okay, what we want to cut. I can't say you that it works because I don't try that before in this model. I tried by the other models and it's not easy. I don't say it's easy, but we tried. Mesh plane. The plane is from top, so we must rotate them. We look from front, so rotate X 90 degrees. Now left mouse button is accepted. Scale, or S for scale. Now we have a plane. This plane we must be the same as the other. Scale X. Wonderful. Tab edit mode X. Delete only face, so the rest is there, but the face is gone. So we have this part, and I said it before to you, when we cut that in the object, we have a problem with the shading. So what we make? We go here to vertex, make a copy of that with Shift D, right mouse button, then scale a little bit greater than the other before. You see it here is brighter than there, so scale it in X. So wonderful. Now the inner part we must make there 1, 2. So right Alt with right mouse button, Shift D, scale, scale X. So now we have 3 lines, and we want to cut them all into this object. So what we do, we go in the object mode, get them before that object, this part, and to the right side, front view with numpad 1, and look, that is same. It must not be 1000% the same, but yeah, it's the same like this. Okay, so we want to cut this into this object. How we do it? We click on our object in object mode. We have our object. Press and hold Shift. Right click on the other object. Okay. Then tap. Then A to select all. And then you have here the option knife project. You click that. And now it is cut into the object. We can go out of the edit mode, so tap, click the object, make them far away, click this object, go in edit mode, and we see we have a cut there. This cut we must yeah, we must intrude them to get this black part, and we try that now. We go to the face selection, right select with shift, okay. E to extrude, escape, scale, scale X, and you see there comes this that I said to you, this problem with the shadows, with the shadow errors. But in the moment it's not impossible. So now we must make that here deep in the object. So what we do, we mark with Alt, hold it, and right mouse button this, and now we must intrude that. So we click Extrude, right mouse button, and drag that in. Now you see the failures come, but we have cut in. And when you make that wood flat, there's no problem. But when you smooth, there comes a problem. That are the shading errors that I speak for. So I make one break now, and the next part comes fast. So we see us to the next part.